there's anything most county residents would agree on, is that there is an insufficient supply of affordable housing in Montgomery County. Yet during a most recent public hearing over the More Housing Now legislative package, which would allow more residential building types, including duplexes, triplexes, townhomes, and apartments in heavy transit zones, with a specific set aside of 15% of the housing to serve local workforce, there were some that opposed the proposal because such development would encroach on existing neighborhoods. Maricé, even if the critics are right that this proposal may not meet the goal of 15% workforce housing, isn't the goal admirable that we need to increase our housing stock?
Yes, absolutely. I think it's definitely worth supporting. We have a severe housing shortage that's also driving the prices up. We need to build more housing everywhere. I mean, I think we've been echoing that for a while. And the impact on single family homes will be spread out throughout the county. So only one community will be overwhelmed by the duplexes and the triplexes. That I know that's the biggest issue on some of the homeowner associations' minds, and folks that have been here 30, 40 years and want to keep their single home communities intact. And for reference, we've only built out about 200 accessory dwelling units countywide in the last 10 years. So, to say that, we're up in arms because all these duplexes and triplexes are taking over the character of the county is, I would say is definitely not accurate at all. Also, we should be converting some of our commercial and those aging office buildings that it's a ghost town at this point, since now we're moving to a remote kind of workforce economy. We should be using that space as well for housing potential. And lastly, and this is actually a creative idea that I hadn't really thought about until I reached out to the realtors and the IOBA people. I prep before these sessions with you, Casey. And so I like to include all the different voices. But the other idea is to tear down McMansions and then make those into triplexes and duplexes. I hate McMansions, so hey, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Well, here are the facts. We add about 2,500 units a year to the housing stock, which is insufficient to meet the increasing population demands of the county.
Right.
So we have to find a way to increase the housing stock and make it affordable. And Helene, between 2014 and 2018, a significant housing gap was identified by the Planning Commission, and that for households earning up to 65% of the area median income. We're not meeting that goal. So, is it's a way that we can increase the housing stock as well and balance the interests of regular homeowners?
Well, we do have the issue that housing costs are rising in Montgomery County, and people actually leaving the county because of that. So I have to say that I'm a little confused about the policy in the county, because we're saying on the one hand, because we have the county executive, Mark Elrich, he's against new rezoning and those ZTA. And those new corridors, building multifamily units in those new corridor. And then on the other hand, we're saying, well, if you invest in Maryland, you're going to pay more property tax. You're going to pay more in recordation tax. We're going to also cap the rent. So we're saying to people, don't invest in Maryland. But in the same time, we're saying, well, no, it's not good to build new housing. I mean, our county executive says it's not good to build new housing. So it's very conflicting. The policies are very conflicting. And I think like the county is a little bit shooting itself in the foot. Like it has to, make a decision about where it really wants to go. Does it want to build more housing? Does it want the state to be attractive? Does it want people to have houses? Or does it want to keep on making housing affordable in Maryland?
As Howie Dennis, who was a longtime, he was a member of the county council and a longtime supporter of Connie Morella, used to say, here in Montgomery County, we hate our taxes, but we love our services. So this is the conflict that we all have, and we try to balance it out. But I think it's an admirable attempt to create and identify and expand the housing stock here in Montgomery County, this new plan. So I think it's a good venture.